pulls me over, the first thing I do is I ask him, what's your emergency and how may I assist you? And he's going to ask for my driver's license and insurance or whatever. And I said, well, before we go there, I need you to fill this out. And I take that sheet of paper out of there and hand it to him. Before we can go any further, you need to fill this out. Once he reads this over, it puts him on notice that I'm not playing games with him. And then you open up the book. And here's the case I won against Harris County. Harris County has taken my name out because I'm not going to give my name until you can give me what's called it. Police always call it it's RANs. What's your RANs? They've automatically assumed because I'm using their language. And RANs stands for reasonable articulable suspicion that I committed a crime. Okay? You don't have that because it's your SAF. Single articulable fact. You don't have that either. You just basically said that there's no reason to pull me over because you haven't seen it. Here's the case I won against Harris County. You can see the stamps and date, and they ended up buying me a brand new Porsche 911 I'm pulling you.
Getting all kinds of interference. Damn. Sorry. A lot of feedback.
You can say that
See if I can fix it.
This signed by the DA and stamped showing and it's the case. And I sued them. That's Supreme Court says no license necessary. And these are all time. So if this is going to consider this license, the case that's already been in the Supreme Court, and they're in violation of their code. That's what they don't pay attention. The license plate doesn't give you this license plate. It says, read down the children. It pretty much says to them, when a cop pulls me over, all those potato chips. When the cop pulls me over, the first thing I do is I ask him, what's your emergency and how may I assist you? And he's going to ask for my driver's license and insurance or whatever. And I said, well, before we go there, I need you to fill this out. And I take that sheet of paper out of the before we can go any further, we need to fill this out. Once he reads this over, puts my notice that I'm not playing games. And here's the case against Harris County. Harris County has taken my name out because I'm not going to give it to you until you can give me what's called police investigation. It's RANs. What's your RANs? RANs stands for reasonable articulable suspicion. You don't have that? Okay, what's your SAF? Single. You don't have that either. You just basically said that there's no reason to pull me over because you haven't seen it. Against Harris County, you can see the stamps and date, and they ended up buying me a real Porsche. They're pulling me over and let me spend the night in jail. So here's the lawsuit, and I got these for everybody to see. You can see that it's this DA and stamped showing and it's the case. And I see that's what they do. And then some cases. Hey, how you doing? Hey, this is the police open the door. I do not wish to speak with you or remain so looking for the same to any search. Judicial review signed by a judge with my name and address to the. So I'll just get the thing because you know I'm good at that phone, citizen shrieks. And he said somebody called him with a no caller ID, they blocked it where you can't see it. So they wanted to change it. So of course I do. There you go. Because he knocked out my phone test and tricks. And he said somebody called they blocked it where you can't see it. So they wanted to have with the chicks for his right here. So of course I do. There you go. Some tricks.
Rally round.
And he said, so they can't see it. So he got tricks for his right here. So of course I do. Copy. Dang. You know, I do the iPhone tips and tricks. And he said somebody called him with a no caller ID, they blocked it where you can't see it. So he wanted to find with the chicks for his right here. So of course I do. Copy. There you go.
To me.
So my dog just
Good to go.
because he know I do the iPhone tips and tricks. And he said, first time you saw Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files. Did you close the files or keep reading? I reviewed the entire files.
Hurry, really piss them off. These are setting charges everywhere, and he's going to blow this whole facility. Don't you, please?
And that's so Trump trying to come in and destroy all the fentanyl. He also wants the U.S. and Mexico to do a joint operation and destroy all the fentanyl labs that Mexico has. And we know the labs, the cartels,
Who's shutting down the torches?
shit. And the outbacks in Texas, with this between the U.S. and the cartel, who y'all think will win? Do y'all
Find this cartel, deal with it.
U.S.? We know how they just said how the U.S. just swept in. How perfect it was. Now, hear me out. I do think that Mexico might want to agree with joint operation. The cartel? I don't think so. And when they do, or if they do say no, I feel like the U.S. still going to go in there and do what they need to do. Because they already made up. Y'all promise me or y'all let me know. Tell Trump, now you're moving too fast. Leave these people alone. Here we go again. Leslie talks between the Madam Secretary, you've already heard the story of Lance Corporal Alejandro Berrico, a United States Marine veteran who's behind you, who also has two brothers who are United States Marines. Will you thank Lance Corporal Berrico for his service? His father, Narcisco Berrico, is a landscaper in California who has lived peacefully in our country for 30 years and has no criminal record. Last spring, while he was mowing the lawn at an IHOP, ICE agents tackled him in the street and imprisoned him for weeks. A peaceful, hard-working man who raised 3 sons to be United States Marines. We need men of that character in this country. Again, as Secretary, you have broad discretion. Will you consider Lance Corporal Berrico's father place to stay in the country, owing to the fact that he has contributed to raising 3 United States Marines?
This is an opportunity to remind everybody
that every person that's in this country legally has an opportunity to voluntarily go home and come back the right way.
He raised 3 United States Marines. He's been living here peacefully, doing his job for 30 years. You have discretion. You are choosing not to use it. Madam Secretary, you promised America that you would go after the worst of the worst. But these people are not the worst of the worst. A Purple Heart recipient, a military spouse, the father of 3 Marines. Madam Secretary, you've already heard the story of Lance Corporal Alejandro Barranco, the United States Marine veteran who is behind you, who also has 2 brothers who are United States Marines. Will you thank Lance Corporal Barranco for his service?
Thank you for your service.
His father, Narcisco Barranco, is a landscaper in California who has lived peacefully in our country for 30 years and has no criminal record. Last spring, while he was mowing the lawn at an IHOP, ICE agents tackled him in the street and imprisoned him for weeks. A peaceful, hard-working man who raised 3 sons to be United States Marines. We need men of that character in this country. Again, as Secretary, you have broad discretion. Will you consider Lance Corporal Barranco's father for parole in place to stay in our country, owing to the fact that he has contributed to our country by raising 3 United States Marines?
This is an opportunity to remind everybody that every person that's in
The real reason Trump wants to bring in World War III is this. Trump's inner circle is now openly floating the idea of a 3rd term, Trump 2028. And they're saying it out loud. There's a plan. And they're saying things like there are alternatives to the 22nd Amendment. And at the appropriate time, they'll explain how it works. And this is actually quoted from Steve Bannon in an interview that he did. And historically, there's only one mechanism that suspends normal politics without formally tearing up the Constitution, and that is war. When a country enters a full-scale war, everything else pauses. Elections, legal norms, political opposition. This is why you're hearing language about divine providence and about finishing what we started and about Trump not being a man but a vehicle. That framing isn't accidental. It's how you justify extraordinary power. The 22nd Amendment is clear. 2 terms, full stop. So if a 3rd term is the goal, the system has to be pressured until normal rules no longer apply. And that doesn't require a form of dictatorship. It requires a permanent state of emergency, which is why I keep saying we have entered World War III. The real reason Trump wants to bring in World War III is this. Trump's inner circle is now openly floating the idea of a 3rd term, Trump 2028. And they're saying it out loud. There's a plan. And they're saying things like there are alternatives to the 22nd Amendment. And at the appropriate time, they'll explain how it works. And this is actually quoted from Steve Bannon in an interview that he did. And historically, there's only one mechanism that suspends normal politics without formally tearing up the Constitution, and that is war. When a country enters a full-scale war, everything else pauses. Elections, legal norms, political opposition. This is why you're hearing language about divine providence and about finishing what we started and about Trump not being a man but a vehicle. That framing isn't accidental. It's how you justify extraordinary power. The 22nd Amendment is clear. 2 terms, full stop. So if the 3rd term is the goal, the system has to be pressured so normal rules no longer apply. And that doesn't require a form of dictatorship. It requires a permanent state of emergency. This is why I keep saying we have entered
It's game day.
Is chasing someone and they suddenly run into your house or your small business. Here's what the law actually says. 1, they create a constitutional safe zone. If an undocumented person on their own runs inside your home or into the employees only area of your business, they've entered a protected area. ICE cannot enter those areas without a judicial warrant. 2, but you cannot help them get there. You cannot wave them in. You cannot shout, "Come inside." You cannot open the door inviting them. If you do that, you've committed harboring and obstruction, both crimes. 3, you also cannot lie to ICE. If ICE asks, "Is someone inside?" and you say no when the answer is yes, that's obstruction, another crime. So don't lie, don't confirm, don't deny, just stay silent. 4, the only way this is legal is if you do nothing. The person must enter voluntarily, on their own, with zero help from you. If they walk in on their own, you have committed no crime. And once they're in, ICE needs a judicial warrant to come after them. ICE does not carry judicial warrants. 5. Your superpower? The Fifth Amendment. If ICE is talking through your door, if they're inside your reception area, you say nothing. No greeting, no legal debate, no asking for warrants, no shouting that you're calling a lawyer. Absolute silence equals no consent. If you don't speak, ICE cannot legally say you allowed entry, and you are not required to help them in any way. So remember, you cannot help someone escape. You cannot lie for them. But if they enter by themselves, you stay completely silent, and ICE cannot enter without a judicial warrant they do not have. Silence protects you. Silence protects them. Is chasing someone and they suddenly run into your house or your small business, here's what the law actually says. 1. They create a constitutional safe zone. If an undocumented person on their own runs inside your home or into the employees only area of your business, they've entered a protected area. ICE cannot enter those areas without a judicial warrant. 2. But you cannot help them get there. You cannot wave them in. You cannot shout, "Come inside." You cannot open the door inviting them. If you do that, you've committed harboring and obstruction, both crimes. 3. You also cannot lie to ICE. If ICE asks, "Is someone inside?" and you say no when the answer is yes, that's obstruction, another crime. So don't lie, don't confirm, don't deny, just stay silent. 4. The only way this is legal is if you do nothing. The person must enter voluntarily, on their own, with zero help from you. If they walk in on their own, you have committed no crime. And once they're in, ICE needs a judicial warrant to come after them. ICE does not carry judicial warrants. 5. Your superpower? The Fifth Amendment. If ICE is talking through your door, if they're inside your reception area, you say nothing. No greeting, no legal debate, no asking for warrants, no shouting that you're calling a lawyer. Absolute silence equals no consent. If you don't speak, ICE cannot legally say you allowed entry, and you are not required to help them in any way. So remember, you cannot help someone escape. You cannot lie for them. But if they enter by themselves,
That Ring camera at your front door, it just became a part of a nationwide police surveillance network, and you probably didn't even know about it. Here's what's going down, and why privacy experts are freaking out right now. So Ring and Flux Safety, which are two of the largest camera networks in the United States, have officially partnered. And this isn't just a small feature of that, guys. This links millions of home cameras with thousands of law enforcement agencies. Here's how it works. So police departments are using Flux system, and they can now send direct evidence requests through Ring's Neighbors app. You've probably seen that. They type in the case ID, the exact time window of what happened, and then they drop a map pin on the area that they want footage from, and every Ring user in that zone gets a notification. And with one tap, your doorbell footage can be forwarded straight into Flock OS or Flock Nova. Same investigative platform that cops already use to track cars through license plate readers and automatic license plate reader hits. So this basically turns neighborhoods into on-demand evidence networks, so to speak. So now Ring says it's voluntary. You have to choose whether to share your footage. But privacy groups are saying that this is where things get very messy, because now you've got Flux road level tracking, that tracks you on the road, right? And it's combined with Ring's front door surveillance. And this all feeds into the same police pipeline. Critics call it warrantless by consent, and they're saying social pressure, the fear of looking uncooperative with the police, could push people to hand over their footage without realizing the long-term privacy implications of it. And once that pipeline exists, it tends to expand. This all started rolling out after the announcement in October of this year, and over the next few months, it'll be integrated into Flock platforms nationwide. So if you've got a Ring doorbell camera, or if you live in a Flock-covered neighborhood, like a HOA, understand something. Your cameras are no longer just for your house. They are now part of a big, big system. And if you want to break down how to lock down your settings so your footage stays private, let me know and I'll make a part two. That Ring camera at your
After 23 years working in the bank, this is one thing that I thought was amazing when I was taught. So you know how you can go into a gas station or convenience store, the hair salon, the nail salon. Sometimes you would like to see a piece of paper by the terminal that said that your transactions need to be over a certain amount or whatever. Well, when Visa came in, Visa said absolutely not. You better report them. They said they are not supposed to do that. The benefit of having the Visa, MasterCard product or whatever is you can swipe your card for any amount. Now, the fees and everything that's being charged is being on the merchant's behalf, and they trying to save money or put it on y'all to actually be able to pay it, and it needs to be above a certain amount. So the guy said, he said, report them. He said, it's easy, go to the website, report them. And so they would get in trouble for that. So next time you go into like the hair salon or something like that, you see that little sheet of paper that's on it, swipe your card and let them know, like, and if you try to charge me, I'm going to call Visa and see what happens. I'm just letting you know. After 23 years of working in the bank, this is one thing that I thought was amazing that I was taught. So you know how if you go into a gas station or convenience store,
This video is going viral right now because he found something hidden in your Social Security paperwork that most people never knew. Check this out. So hold on a second. We know that money used to say on it, redeemable for silver or gold. It used to say backed by gold and silver. And now it's a note, Federal Reserve note, for example. But did you know about your birth certificate fraudulency? Check this out. Now look closely. Did you know birth certificates? When you were born, your parents register you with the government as a corporation by receiving and signing a birth certificate. In a few years, your corporation will receive a taxpayer ID number called a Social Security number. This is so you can be used as collateral for the governments to acquire debt. That's right, you and your labor, time, and energy is what backs up the national debt. You are so... Birth certificates, marriage certificates. There's an angle to this. The government getting involved. And I'm not even talking about the straw man sovereign citizen thing. I mean, this does have to do with that. We're talking about when you get a birth certificate, that some element of ownership may be put over the person with the birth certificate. It's not some organic, snappy-dappy way to keep track of the citizens. Woo, we have birth certificates, we know who's who. It's about control. But what if we all said no? What if we all said no? You thought about that? Or not even all of us, like 50%, 30%, even 20%, that's what a lot of people.
You can face the Pacers in some Friday night NBA action. I have 3 moves in this game ready to go. We're 18-7 in our last 25 free plays, including a win last night.
Attention and listen, because these are the top 3 stocks you need to watch after the United States sees Venezuela's oil look. Now, the first oil stock on this list has to be Chevron, which is sitting at $171 right now. But the number one reason why everyone needs to focus on it is because it is the only major U.S. oil company operating in Venezuela. Now, the second oil stock on this list is going to be SLB Limited, which is sitting at $45 right now, but is the world's largest oil company in the entire world, but also operates in Venezuela. Now, the third and final oil stock on this list is going to be ConocoPhillips, which is sitting at $105 right now. But the number one reason why it is on this list in the first place is because Venezuela owns ConocoPhillips over $10 billion. And now that the United States has seized all the oil in Venezuela, that money is going to get paid to ConocoPhillips, and that money is also going to get injected into the company, which if you are holding ConocoPhillips before that money gets injected, you are going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially if you get in right now. Attention and listen, because these are the top 3 stocks you need to watch after the United States seized Venezuela's oil look. Now, the first oil stock on this list has to be Chevron, which is sitting at $171 right now. But the number one reason why everyone needs to focus on it is because it is the only major U.S. oil company operating in Venezuela. Now, the second oil stock on this list is going to be SLB Limited, which is sitting at $45 right now, but is the world's largest oil field
company in the entire world, but also operates in Venezuela. Now, the third and final oil stock on this list is going to be ConocoPhillips, which is sitting at $105 right now. But the number one reason why it is on this list in the first place is because Venezuela, everything dropped in this week. The second string of Venezuela sitting streaking.
Looks like you, speaks like you, and shares a similar story can help others within my Hispanic community.
That just pissed me off.
I think that seeing someone who looks like you, speaks like you, and shares a similar story can help others within my Hispanic community. I think that seeing someone who looks like you, speaks like you, and shares a similar story can help others within my Hispanic community. I think that seeing someone who looks like you, speaks like you.
I saw a video of the lady exposing how to get Netflix to leave alone. Check it out.
Tonight, the 4-year-old and the hug, and you every time. Tonight in Cleveland, Tennessee, Alcohol's last 24 hours in jail. In the United States, news. Greenland has chosen the United States and has selected NATO as its defender. Trump sent a warning to NATO yesterday, stating that if America invades Greenland, NATO must stand back, and that any NATO troops on the island would result in war with the United States. Today, the Greenland Prime Minister formally requested protection and rejected all ties with the United States, meaning there will be no negotiations. Trump has made it clear, saying, "We will have Greenland," and has not ruled out the use of military force. The situation now is that if the United States places even one soldier on it, NATO Article 5 could be activated at the request of Denmark, which controls Greenland and is a NATO member. More specifically, France has already chosen its side, stating it will support the Danes, and reports claim plans are being drafted behind closed doors for a NATO defense of Greenland against the United States, potentially led by French nuclear submarines. It is already reported that Trump is...
My dog Bruno, fresh, healthy meals turned out to be easier than I expected. With Freshpet, I know he's getting wholesome meals crafted with care that can even be found where I buy my groceries. His favorite is Freshpet's tender chicken recipe. All simple ingredients that you can actually see. I never have to choose between affordability and quality. Real food fresh from the fridge is for the whole family. And with Freshpet, it's that much easier. My dog Bruno, fresh, healthy meals turned out to be easier than I expected. With Freshpet, I know he's getting wholesome meat.
Just told Iran, we are locked and loaded and ready to go. This time he's not just talking. The USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group is racing toward Iran right now. Pentagon confirms it arrives within a week. Meanwhile, Iranian state TV crossed every line, broadcasting threats to assassinate Trump with the warning, this time the bullet won't miss. Trump's response was immediate. He canceled every meeting with Iranian officials and posted, "Help is on its way." Netanyahu approved Operation Iron Strike after a 5-hour war cabinet meeting. Israel's entire military is on high alert. US and UK personnel are evacuating bases around Iran right now. But here's the key detail nobody's watching. US refueling tankers have been circling Iranian airspace for 3 straight days. You don't deploy dozens of tankers unless you're preparing for something far beyond conventional airstrikes. Iran warned they'll strike every US base and Israeli target if America attacks. Trump responded, "We will take very strong action." Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan are desperately trying to convince him not to strike, warning of unprecedented regional consequences. But with the Abraham Lincoln moving at full speed and Israel authorized for action, the question isn't if anymore. Iran just proved threatening America is one thing, but threatened to assassinate the president on live television, and every carrier strike group starts moving in your direction. Just told Iran, we are
Call to everyone with a cell phone.
The Immigrant brand new film is such a wild ride, and I would expect nothing less from the director of Old Boy, one of the most insane films ever. No Other Choice, directed by Park Chan-wook, is a film that first premiered at the Venice Film Festival, critical acclaim, obviously. It was also just nominated for a Golden Globe Best Picture in the musical or comedy category. The film is about a long-time employee of this paper company. He is abruptly laid off, so he's trying to get another job. This is where all the hackers hang out, and they will legit teach you for free. And before I tell you where to go, I need you to heed to my advice before you join. Simply just follow the rules. If you don't, they will happily remove you. And if you're going to ask a question that's unethical, find a different way to ask the question. With all that being said, anything you want to learn, teach. No, they will not hack you. They do not care about you. Now let me show you how to join. First, you want to type this in right here, hit enter, and then you can click the first one. If you don't have an account, we'll just create one. It shows you that they're partnered with this one. And we have very well-known people in the server. We have Zero, Hack the Box staff, even Try Hack Me for those who know. Namasec, anyone you would think of is basically here. Now we have the general chat where everybody just talk about things that's in general. So you have pen testing, malware, Active Directory, hard drive hacking, all types of stuff, and even computer science stuff. And don't be stingy with this information. Share it to someone else. This is where all the hackers hang out at, and they will legit teach you for free. And before I tell you, attention, because The Simpsons might make you rich overnight before April 4th. Wallahi. Everybody knows by now, The Simpsons predict literally everything, like Trump becoming the president, and even this bum getting arrested. I swear they're linked to the fucking government or some shit. But now this is where this gets insane. Marge, in a new episode, went into the future and grabbed a book that says future sports results and crypto market prices. And you can clearly see the price of all these crypto coins. Bitcoin, XRP, BNB, Ethereum. But there's a coin at the bottom of $1 USOR, and I've never heard of it. It had me thinking, what the fuck are the Simpsons predicting next? It turns out this coin is linked right to China and the United States. And it's all about their oil war. So now let me put you guys the fuck on and how this can make you a ton of money. Everybody has been seeing the news about China and the United States fighting over oil. And even this article coming out saying BlackRock and the United States hand in hand want to tokenize oil. Because all these motherfuckers care about is damn money, man. It's sad. So after seeing that article, I did some digging and found BlackRock's Digital Liquidity Fund. It's a private fund. $10 billion is going into these cryptocurrencies, XRP, Chainlink, HBAR, and USOR. The same coin from the fucking Simpsons episode. So after seeing that, I aped in a couple grand, and USOR is pumping. Already at a 4 mil market cap. And this coin has only been out for a day. As well as you can see USOR in BlackRock's crypto wallet. What the fuck do they know that we don't? Off of speculation,
saving on tuition is actually easier than you think. I'm Christian from Strayer University. We offer access to content, no-cost gen ed courses through our affiliate Sophia to help you earn an affordable degree. Check us out, Smart. Saving on tuition is actually easier than you think. I'm Christian from Strayer University. We offer access to up to 10 no-cost gen ed courses through our affiliate Sophia to help you earn an affordable degree. Check us out, Smart. Saving on tuition is actually easier than you think. I'm Christian from Strayer University. We offer access to up to 10 no-cost gen ed courses through our affiliate Sophia to help you earn an affordable degree. Check us out, Smart. Saving on tuition is actually easier than you think. I'm Christian from Strayer University. We offer access to up to 10 no-cost gen ed courses through our affiliate Sophia to help you earn an affordable degree. Check us out, Smart. Saving on tuition is actually easier than you think. I'm Christian from Strayer University. We offer access to up to 10 no-cost gen ed courses through our affiliate Sophia to help you earn an affordable degree. Check us out, Smart. Saving on tuition is actually easier than you think. I'm Christian.
Hey, that your mom's paid the bill. And once you pay the bill, she goes, and they Say there was a meter right here, and say that this was cut, and say that this was open, and this was open, right? Check this out. See these 4 prongs? 1, 2, 3. What they do? The meter is here. This all the guy does is he slips little plastic covers over top of the things that fit into these 4 stages. And when he does, it turns the focus of the approach.
So I stood up and said, I'm fucking doing
Shut the box, close this, and lock this. Never do that.
Warning. Ground-penetrating radar detects anti-vehicle demolitions nearby.
Hey, that your mom's paid the bill. And when she paid the bill, she called and said, I paid. And they're like, oh, it's 3 days until, you're going to, we can get out there and get your power back on, bro. I never want you to do this. This is the disclaimer. Never do this. But say there was a meter right here, and say that this was cut, and say that this was open, and this box was popped open, right? Check this out. See these 4 prongs? 1, 2, 3, 4. All they do when the meter is here, when this is here instead of this plastic blank, all the guy does is he slips little plastic covers over top of the things that fit into these 4 spaces. And when you does, it turns the focus. So if you don't want your mom to overheat to death, and you got little kids, you don't want to sweat to death, you don't want to freeze to death, never, ever, ever open this box up, pull the meter off, take the little rubber grommets off, put the meter back on, shut the box, close this, and lock this. Never do that. Hey, that your mom's paid the bill, and when she paid the bill, she called and said, I paid, and they're like, oh, it's 3 days until, you're going to, we can get out there and get your power back on. I never want you to do this. This is the never do this. And say there was a meter right here, and say that this was cut, and say that this was open, and this was open, right? Check this out. See these 4 prongs? 1, 2, 3, 4. All they do, the meter is here. This meter is here instead of this plastic blank. All the guy does is he slips little plastic covers over top of the things that fit into these 4 spaces. And when he does, it turns the control. So if you don't want your mom to overheat to death, and you got little kids, you don't want to sweat to death, and you don't want to freeze to death, never, ever, ever open this box up, pull the meter off, take the little rubber grommets off, put the meter back on, shut the box, close this, and lock this. Never do that.
Issues of final. So, does the U.S. Postal Service know something that we don't?
Hold it right there. This doesn't have to end in bloodshed. Don't come any closer. We can do this the hard way, or we can end this peacefully.
I didn't think you Batarians knew the meaning of the word.
Look, I'm just doing my job here. Hijacking this rock wasn't my idea. I signed on to make a little profit. A quick slave grab, nothing more.
This isn't just a slave grab anymore. Millions of people are gonna die.
Don't you think I know that? I'm just following orders here. If it were up to me, we'd have already left.
Well, it's not too late. You can still leave.
I don't think so. Bollock would skin me alive and sell my hide out of spite. Crazy bastard. This whole mission's gone to hell and I'm gonna pay for it.
So why do you listen to it?
Good question. I had a bad feeling about this from the moment we landed. Now Balak wants you dead. And what Balak wants, Balak gets. I can't change that.
Spoken like a true lackey. You get me out of here and I'll take care of Balak. Or you can take your chances with me.
Huh. An interesting proposal. It certainly has benefits over the current situation. Shut it down. This is Balak's problem now. I hope you're as quick with a gun as you are with your promises, for both our sakes.
Balak will get what's coming, and so will you if I ever catch you in human territory again. Are we clear?
Perfectly. Balak's holed up in the main facility. You'll need this to get in. Don't underestimate him. He's a mean bastard. Let's go. We're getting off this road.
Where your mom at? Hey, Meg. Did you check the baby bag yet?
Yes, if she ain't going nowhere, I told Buffy I'm gonna keep her tonight. Vic coming home tonight, so he's supposed to take me out tomorrow. We wanna hang out and go bowling and shit. He said he talked to Yaya, so if we do that, I'm gonna just bring her home first.
Okay, but no, I was just checking to see. Did I leave a smart trip in that bag? Yes. 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 What you doing?
You can take a little shot. You gotta get rid of that. She not being stressed talking about her boss.
What you doing?
She eating a cereal and running around the house every time.
Did you see it in there, Meg?
That's what she doing. Everywhere I go, she falls.
I
woke up to get them ready for school this morning. She woke up.
Oh yeah, she'd do that.
We watched Leo, and then I fell asleep like 10:30.
Did you check it, Megan? You checked it?
Yeah, it's not in it.
Oh shit! I don't know what the fuck I did with that motherfucker. At 10:30.
How was it?
It was good. I ain't stay long. Nah, not really. I was, I ain't really,
Let me call up this school for the bed. I'll call you back.
All right. Fuck is that smart chip at, man?
You humans. You're almost more trouble than you're worth.
Let the hostages go, and maybe you'll live long enough to explain yourself to the council.
I don't answer to the council. Or to you. I'm leaving this asteroid. If you try to stop me, I'll detonate these charges, and your helper and your friends are all going to die.
I can't just let you go, Val. Not after what happened here.
This is nothing. You humans have done far worse to the Mortarians. We've been forced into exile, forced to survive on what we can scrounge up. It's been like that for decades.
Why take it out on these people?
Didn't do anything. Aside from colonizing a world that could have been ours, aside from using resources that should have been ours, we were left to defend ourselves. But the humans were stronger than us. We knew that. The council knew that. But it didn't matter. It was you. You and your kind are the only reason we're in this position.
How does killing innocent people make up for that?
We had no other options. Sometimes you need to get someone's attention before they'll listen. That's why we attacked you at Elysium. That's why I'm doing this. You forced our hand.
You attacked us first.
Enough! Now, if you want your friends to live, I suggest you step aside.
You can go. But this isn't over. I'll find you eventually.
Maybe. But I made sure you won't follow me today. Those charges are still on a timer. Better hurry if you want to save your friends.
Letting him go was better than the alternative. I thought you were going to stay someplace safe.
There might have been something I could have done to help. I thought I should be here. I know this asteroid better than anyone. You did it. Another hour and our course would have been irreversible. I ran the numbers, Shepard. X-57 would have struck near the capital city, the most densely populated region. But that's not going to happen, thanks to you. Is Katie in here? Is she all right? Is her team?
Balak was holding him hostage. I let him go to save them.
Let a terrorist go or sacrifice innocent lives. I'm glad that's not a choice I had to make. Is that... Will you get in trouble for that? I mean, he could do the same thing somewhere else, couldn't he?
The Alliance has a whole navy full of people like me, waiting to take him down. We'll be watching.
Shepard, thank you for my grandchildren's lives. I don't think I'll stick around, though. Not with the team gone. Too many ghosts. It's time for me to get back and spend some time with my family. Before I go, I'd like to offer you something. Maybe you'll have more use for it than I will. As lead engineer, I get some quality items. Take your pick. You've earned it.
I know it's a lot to ask, but that Omni tool of yours? I could really use something like that.
Shepard, I think I mentioned that you saved my kids and grandkids. What's an Omni tool compared to that? You take it, with my blessing. I hope you get good use out of it.
One more thing. You asked me to look into your missing engineers?
Have you found them?
Yes, all of them. Their bodies, anyway.
Oh. I see. Well then, I guess it's better than not knowing.
Take care of yourself.
Be well, Shepard. We owe you.
I can't believe you let Balak go. To save us. I half expected you to just let us die. Sacrifice the few for the many.
Then I'd be no better than the Batarians. Besides, Balak won't get away with this. I know who he is now. He can't run forever.
You sound like my brother. He was always so stubborn, but always willing to do the right thing, no matter what.
Your brother was the one Balak killed?
Yes. Aaron. He was the one who convinced me to join the team here. Said it would be an adventure. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but I should see to Aaron.
I understand. You've been through enough today. I'll get out of your way.
Thank you. Oh, I don't even know your name.
Shepard. Commander Shepard.
Thank you, Commander Shepard. You're not exactly what I expected, but thank you.
I'll get out of your way.
I appreciate that, Commander.
can't imagine how much you've done, for all of us.